Hello there, dear readers. So you might be asking yourself or have wondered about the legend of the upside-down Batman. You can see him here. Well, that's a very tragic tale, I suppose. See, it begins one cold, cold winter, when the siblings were preparing for the first time to shoot a video. Well, it sort of simply goes like this. Cian, my younger brother, brought us this blanket, and he said, "We'll use this for a background to cover up our hideously disgusting laundry room." To which I replied, "Yes, of course. Why hadn't I thought of that?" And we hung it, but what we didn't realize was that it had been hung upside down. And nobody noticed, not for many, many videos, until finally, at one point, Cian turned to me and said, "Hey, that blanket's upside down." To which I replied, "You're right." And then, as I glanced back through all of our videos, I realized it had been upside down in all of them. All of them. This was going to be way too much work to reshoot. So we looked at each other, and you know what we decided? Let's blame our mother. That's way, way safer than taking responsibility for ourselves. So, tragically, what happened was that our mother interfered and flipped the blanket upside down in a fit of rage over the fact that neither of us could be counted on to clean our rooms. It's ridiculous, and I hope you get a cathartic release out of knowing that we've turned this on her. Thank you. Thoughts on Grimm? Ready, set, go.
It was,
Art. Start with the art. How did you think it looked?
Loved it. I really loved it. I really, really loved it. It was great looking, and it looked like Psychonauts.
Okay, I'm a little bit gonna differ from you on that, and here's why. Oh, I don't really love the art style in question. I think it's got a style, I just don't like that style. I think it looks clunky and part of video games for me is I want to live in these other worlds, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to live in that world. It doesn't look nice enough. It doesn't look interesting to me. I just look at it and I feel like I'm looking at a children's art book. That said, the positive part of all of this is that I really did like the changeovers. Now, I'm not saying when it changed to Grimm I liked it better. I'm saying I liked that they bothered to have each thing have a different part if you had nastied it up. I thought that was a cool mechanic, and it was cool that they did it for every piece instead of just doing it for some.
We should talk about, we should do the positives and the negatives and talk backwards because it's Grimm.
No, we're not going to do that.
Aww.
But, so that was sort of my feelings about the art. You've played Psychonauts, and you also sort of more care for, like, the Adventure Time or the sort of, like, Rick and Morty.
That's not...
Well, no, it doesn't look exactly like that, but I'm talking about, like, the very cartoony style. Like, for me, that holds almost no appeal at this point in my life. Like, zero left for me. I really don't want to see it. But I'm glad you really liked it. And I would say objectively, I could see how a lot of people would like it. It's just not me.
We just spent 2 minutes.
That's fine. So then, gameplay. Thoughts on gameplay?
I liked playing the game. It was fun. I loved making things nasty. Maybe if there gets more like puzzles and stuff in it, it'll be better.
Okay. Once again, I think I'm gonna differ from you on it. I didn't really feel like there was a lot of video game here. Like, I thought when they introduced the cleaners, it was going to be interesting that you're sort of trying to keep these things down while dirtying the rest of the world up. But it just quickly became this process of, like, pretty much ignoring the cleaners and just walking all over until you could finally come back and change the cleaners to working for your side. And I just did not think that was particularly clever gameplay. It seemed like the sort of thing where it was just more fun to sort of see what everything turned into, but that there was no real challenge inherent. Well, we are going to get there.
We are going to get there.
But, like, so as a video game, I don't think I know a lot of adventure games have this issue. Like, I love The Walking Dead adventure games. I like Telltale and the way they do things.
Yeah.
And this isn't Telltale, but it's like very hard to call it a video game because like, the game part is not really there. Or if it is, it's so insignificant.
I see what you're saying.
Okay. So then, story.
I like the story. That was the best part.
I agree, as with many adventure games, the strong part of this is the story. But more than that, I think it's the voice or like the sense of humor that this game has for itself, and it's not like I feel like I expected this game to have like the sort of postmodern, like self-aware, ironic humor that sort of has taken over and is like almost like shorthand for what it means to be funny. And this didn't really go in that direction, and that sort of very much surprised me. So, and it still was funny. Like, it still had its moments.
Yeah.
So that was good to me.
Like in the beginning.
Yeah.
We were always like, if the rest of the game is like this, we're gonna.
Yeah, and so I did think that was good. I'm not real sure, like, if I want to see the rest of the story really unfold. I feel like the combination of me not loving the art and gameplay makes me not want to, but I feel like I almost want you to play it and then tell me about it, which is because this is what I've done with every like with my older brother and with you. When I don't want to play a game, it isn't that I don't want to know what happens, or it's just that I don't want to go through the process of finding out. So like the Metroid games, they're great, wonderful games, just not for me. So I would just watch Tao play them, or I would be like, all right, Tao, what happened in this game? Like, give me a rundown. So, like, I don't want to play this game. I want you to play this game, and then I want to ask you what happened. Because that would be more pleasurable for me than playing the game.
I understand what you're saying, but I have to go through all the levels we just did.
That's true. You would have to go through all the levels we just did. I honestly think, though, that it does have a seemingly good story so far. I think it's funny to have this guy who's like running around and he's the one responsible for how awful everything is.
I saw you could change it to dark mode.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be making everything light. That's going to be happening.
Oh, that would make sense. So you could play it either way. Yeah, like I also, like, I know everyone sort of has a sense of humor about the Grimm fairy tales because when you read them as an adult, you're sort of like, yeah, this is a little weird that like every story ends with a princess getting given away and every story begins with like some adult saying to like his son, like, hey, go do this really, really dangerous and scary, horrifying thing and you'll get to marry that girl over there. And like no protagonist is like, I don't think it's a great idea to stay in the haunted house of a flayed man.
I'm going home and
like
some dinner.
I'm all right with like this lot in life of being a baker. A baker, that sounds fine to me. Like less risky. Like I'll marry the farmer's daughter. No big deal. Don't need to get involved in these talking cut off heads. Yeah, and then like it's just every single time they're like, no, we'll. Cool, fine.
Or it starts out with like a boy not having much at all or something. Or and gets a special gift or like, something.
Like, I remember in college, I feel like I remember beginning many discussions because I did have a class on like Anne Sexton, who sort of does these very dark romantic versions of, in poetic form, of Grimm fairy tales. And I just remember saying, like, don't go into the woods. Like, this, like, you are meant to learn from this. Not to go into
the basement when you hear a scary sound.
Like basically, don't go on property that isn't yours, and the woods belong to no one, so don't go there. Like, just bad idea, and yeah.
So there's like every horror movie's like, oh, I heard a little howl in the basement. Let's walk down there with a flashlight.
Okay.
Greatest idea ever.
And then to get back to the game,
I just say
briefly.
Like, shut the door, barricade
This is one more complaint, the peeing on things mechanic. Like, it made me snicker twice, and I hate myself for that, because I just think it's so lowbrow. Like, of course you're loving it. Like, this is the audience right here who's like, yes, the peeing mechanic is great. But to me, I'm just like, why did I laugh at that? Like, this is so terrible.
It was, but you have to say it was great when we went out of the cutscene, and then he was just peeing on the kid.
Well, that's like that is what the game is. It's just this guy who's peeing on everything. Like that game descriptor done.
This really rotten looking guy that's peeing on.
Yeah. So with that, would you play this game or recommend others play this game?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Would you?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think I would unless.
I would play this game.
Yes, I think I should probably rephrase this. I would not play this game. I would not recommend to people like me that they play this game. But if you're like him and you enjoy sort of tablet games, or you're into this art style or this like kind of sense of humor and this world, and maybe if you're not looking for anything really challenging, you just sort of want something to do for like 20 to 30 minutes every day and feel like you're doing something that's sort of gaming related, then this game is perfect for that. If you're sort of like me, that like when you sit down to play for an hour, yeah, you want something real, then this game does not hold anything for you. And I don't think that's saying it's a bad game. I think it's really good for what it is. It just isn't for me. So, with all that said, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below.
No.
What?
Like, subscribe, and comment down below, because we'd like to hear what you think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. A game show host tone. And we'll see you next Saturday. Bye!
Bye!